5 years before the Battle of Yavin, Cassian Andor travels to the industrial planet of Morlana 1 on the trail of his missing sister. While searching for her in the brothel, Cassian is antagonized by two pre-Mor Authority security officers. An altercation between the trio shortly ensues outside the brothel, leading to Cassian accidentally killing one officer and murdering the other. Cassian flees to the planet Ferrix, where he attempts to hide his involvement by convincing his adopted mother Marva's droid, B2EMO, and his friend Brasso to cover for him. Cassian also asks his friend Bix to connect him with a black market buyer, as Cassian has acquired a Starpath unit, a valuable piece of Imperial navigation technology. Bix agrees and contacts the buyer, but her attempts to hide her connection with Cassian makes her boyfriend Tim suspicious. Back on Morlana 1, the Chief Inspector of Security elects to cover up the murders to improve his report to the Imperial authorities, but his deputy, the dutiful Cyril Karn, is determined to solve the case. Karn identifies Cassian's borrowed ship and traces it to Ferrix, and learns from an eyewitness at the brothel that Cassian said that he was from the planet Kenari. In a flashback, a younger Cassian known as Kassa and his tribe on Kenari decide to investigate a crashed ship. Kassa rebuffs his younger sister's efforts to join them, leaving her behind to guard her encampment. Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I'm Surge T, and that is the synopsis, the premise of Star Wars Andor. And of course, this is the show that takes place 5 years before the events of Rogue One and A New Hope. We all remember the character of Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna. Very, very good movie. A lot of people are saying the films that took place after Star Wars, the prequels and the original trilogy, were probably and even better than the sequels. I mean, the series, but the movie Rogue One was just based on the opening crawl in Star Wars. And this is, of course, looking back at the earlier period of Andor's adventures, if you will. Got himself into quite a sticky situation where, he ends up killing those two officers. The chief of security, that guy, is like, man, one of those guys. He says he mentioned his name. He goes, "Oh, I'm surprised he didn't die younger. I mean, not die younger, die earlier, die sooner than this." He wanted to cover it up, but the other guy, there, Cyril Karn, is like, you can see that. Look at his face. Is like, are you serious? Like. And he's definitely a guy who's had that dogged, determination. And you see him all throughout, questioning his men, questioning his people. Asking them, do you know where this person can be? And I mean, like, the other guy didn't even care. His chief. This is like, okay, no one really cares about those two. I don't like that one guy. They're dead. Should have died sooner, but we gotta cover this up. We gotta just sweep it under the rug because I want to look good in front of the Imperial authorities. And it was a very good episode. I liked the opening. I liked how this show starts off. Don't know much about the characters. I'm not even familiar with any of them. Kind of forgot about Cassian Andor, because it's been a while since I've seen the movie Rogue One. I remember the sacrifice they made at the end, and then they all just waited for what was like a nuclear attack, they just all just ended up, disintegrating into ash. Pretty sad what happened, but they made that ultimate sacrifice. And here we get to see his character starting out a thief. He's a murderer. I mean, he got, it was just so funny because when those guys started, those two security guards started hassling him. He didn't even do nothing. Like, there's a girl there, a hostess, what do you call it? Goes up to him and then wants to know what he wants, what he likes. Da, da, da. He's looking for a sister. And those two guys are like, well, how about you help us? He just got here. And she's like, oh, there's someone else that can help you, you know? And you can tell those guys were being problems. It's almost like in the cantina scenes in Star Wars and all that. There's always two, jerks, that want to start a fight. They even looked at him and go, what are you laughing at? What are you smiling at? And I'm like watching him going, he ain't smiling at nothing. And then when they got him, when they said something that got him to kind of, Andor to kind of think or like kind of have a look of a concern in his face, and then they're going, oh, he ain't laughing anymore. I'm going, who wrote the dialogue? Because it's like he wasn't laughing. He wasn't smiling. If he was smirking, he just looked over at him. And I think that when he accidentally killed the one guy, and the other guy, and I think he was just like going, you guys are straight up jerks to me. You guys are straight up a-holes to me. And the guy was trying to plead to him. The one guy, he's like the last guy, he's like the second guy, and he's like, I'll forget this. It never happened. We got into a fight. My friend, he slipped and fell and killed himself or died. He didn't care. Andor's just laying up, pops him right in the head, and he's dead. I don't know, like there's some interesting characters in here because it's a start. It's the first episode, and I'll be doing this every weekly too. I'll be uploading it on Friday, and let's talk about this. I'll watch the episode, then I'll talk about it like this. Recap it and give my thoughts. And I enjoyed it. I think it was a very, very good start for this series. I liked the character of Cassian Andor a lot. And just to know that eventually he's going to join the rebellion and they're going to do what they did, and that leads up to, the last scene that was kind of like hard to watch. It was pretty sad that they knew that in doing what they did, they were going to end up dying, but it was for the cause. It was for to help the rebellion take on the Galactic Empire. But in closing, I enjoyed this first episode. Kassa series is off to a good start. I enjoyed the journey so far with Cassian Andor and a thief, a murderer, someone who is just trying to get out of there and trying to get away, kind of keep the authorities, whoever's going to come after him. Because any time now, someone's going to catch up to him, and he's going to try to be one step ahead, trying to get his friends to, cover up for him. His little robot friend and then his buddy, He didn't even tell Bix what he's up to. He just said, I got this thing I want to barter or trade. And, so he's in one hell of a bind, but he's going to try to make it out of there. And I'm looking forward to the next episode that I'll be uploading next Friday. I'll be doing this every week. And I know that the series finale, when a series finale, but season finale just aired. So I'm starting on episode 1, and the series season finale already ended. Aired and it's already come and gone. So I'm behind, but not too far. And I will definitely do this until I finish it, and I'm gonna have fun doing it because I enjoyed the series so far. One episode, yeah, but it's very, very entertaining, and I love the character, and I like the character of Cassian Andor. So I definitely want to come along for the ride and come along on this journey and find out where he ends up. But then again, we know where it ends up. But for the series, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.